The housing market just flipped and most real estate agents are not talking about it. Lennar and national home builders are giving the biggest incentives we've seen in years to attract buyers to buy their product. And the future of mortgage rates is very uncertain due to the Federal Reserve and Trump's war. Hey guys, I'm Chris Lamb. I'm a mortgage lender based out of Northern California. And in this video, I'm going to talk about what is going on in the housing market right now, why inventory is going up nationwide, and what this might mean for someone that wants to buy or sell a home in the remainder of 2025. Well, it's a really interesting time. The CEO of Redfin came out in the month of June and said that home prices are in fact coming down, while Zillow put out another article that they expect home prices to go down by 1.4% this year. And this would be the first decline in home values that we've seen in years. And I gotta tell you, it's got a lot of people crazy. So what I've been seeing from my desk, now some of you know that I am a mortgage lender. I do mortgages nationwide, so I talk with people in multiple states, is you have a home seller that still thinks it's 2021 and that they can get top dollar for their property. And now that we're seeing inventory increase or homes for sale increase to levels we've not seen in years, home buyers are starting to think it's 2009 and the housing market is crashing. Now I'm here to tell you that neither of those are true. If you're going to sell a property today, the fact of the matter is you are going to have to compete with more inventory. In a market where home values are going up, maybe at a fast pace, a lot of times you can list your property above the comparables because the market is going up and you want to make sure that you're getting the maximum amount of money for your property. Now, the truth is that's what everyone wants when you sell a home. But in a market like this, where home values are stagnant and some markets going down, home sellers that are actually selling their properties today are needing to price their property at or below the comparables in their direct area. And I know this is something a lot of people are not going to want to hear, but the facts are that the days on market, or the time it takes you to sell your home, has gone up substantially. It's about 38 days nationwide, and it is taking longer for sellers to sell their property. Some of the biggest home builders in the nation, like Lennar, are giving some of the craziest incentives to try to attract buyers to buy their properties. Now, this is not a housing crash. And when people think about home values going down or having a minor correction, there's a few things you have to remember. For the market to crash, we would have to see a 20% reduction in value or more. And that does not look like that's what's going to happen here. The other thing that people have to remember is that inventory is still well below what it should be for a normal market. We're still in a low inventory environment, but the truth is it's up 10 to 60% depending on what state you're in. In states like California, inventory's up, but it's not up nearly as much as states like Florida, where in some markets it's up by 50% or more. Those are the types of markets where people are seeing some of the best deals right now. Now let's talk about interest rates. Our Federal Reserve, Jerome Powell, came out in June and said that he will not be lowering rates in the month of June, but did leave it on the table that there could be a couple rate adjustments in the calendar year of 2025. Any of you that have been watching the news, you've probably seen President Trump and some of the people that are in his campaign really putting a lot of pressure on our current Federal Reserve to lower rates. And so far, it has not worked. Now, none of us are going to really know if our Federal Reserve has done a good job or not. For people that have been hoping for mortgage rates to come down, there's a couple things you have to remember. Mortgage rates will follow inflation. And the facts are we have seen signs of a weakening economy. The GDP numbers, the jobless claims, the unemployment numbers are all showing signs that the economy is slowly weakening. And in order for inflation numbers to come down, we're going to have to see continued signs that consumers are spending less, that confidence is going down, and it's going to be a real challenge for our Federal Reserve to try to land this plane, as he calls it, softly. But most economists do predict that mortgage rates will come down by the end of the year. Fannie Mae just came out with their prediction that mortgage rates for the 30-year fixed mortgage will be 6.1% by the end of the year. Now, just to give you some perspective, at the time that I'm filming this video, rates are roughly around 7%. So that would almost be a 1% drop, which would be a huge impact to the average person buying a home. So if you're selling a home this year, you really want to hire great representation. Not all listing agents are created equal. You want someone who's going to get the maximum exposure to your property, but who's also going to tell you the truth about price. The number one reason that most homes don't sell today is because they are overpriced. The other reason they don't sell is because the agent is not marketing it properly. And the last reason is because there's simply something wrong with the property and it doesn't show as well as the comparables. For people that want to buy a home this year, this is one of the most exciting times I've seen in years. Home sellers that have been on the market for 60 days or more are willing to negotiate. They're paying for closing costs, they're paying for temporary rate buydowns, and they're taking lower prices for their homes, especially if they're motivated to move somewhere else. If I was a home buyer, I would negotiate aggressively right now. And lastly, if you're a home buyer, you don't have to be in a rush. For the last 5 years, home buyers have had the pressure of writing an offer quickly on the property in fear that someone else would come in behind them and make a better offer and that they would lose the property. That is still happening with some properties, but it is way less. And if you're a home buyer right now, you finally have time to take your time, educate yourself on the area that you want to buy, and negotiate with the seller. Now, this is what I'm seeing straight up from my desk. I'm trying not to give you guys anything that's false. These are the realities of the local market where I live, but they're also the realities we're seeing nationwide. As I said, I do loans all over the nation. I talk to people in multiple states, and these are the trends we're seeing everywhere. But I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, or questions in the comments below. I do try to get back to all of them. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you guys are having a great beginning of the summer.